What's up, you guys? It's T, and welcome back to another segment of Books with T. And today I will be reviewing Psycho Shifters by Jasmine Mas. Okay, so let's get into it. The first part of this book, though the first 10 chapters for me, it was a question of this character's well-being. Honestly, this book is very it's not, I would say that it's not for the faint of heart. If you are like real just like tender-hearted or whatnot, it is a high fantasy book in every sense of the word, but it has action, it has spice, it has gore, it has some different subject matters that might not be everybody's cup of tea, but overall it was a really good book. And I love that the main character shows a lot of growth, but it's still her at the end of the day. And getting into that, our main character is Sadie, and Sadie is like this girl from this little village area in the Beast Realm, I believe. And she is just there doing what she does, in this little tavern house. The way they explain it is that she's like cleaning up and, just a personal maid, kind of like Cinderella, almost, but worse, because she's like, it's not just verbal abuse, it's actually physical abuse happening to her by her caregiver, who is a beta. So there is a hierarchy with different shifters and things like that. And since she has not been identified at this point in the book, like in the beginning, she doesn't know what she is. So she doesn't know if she's a beta, omega, or an alpha or anything like that. She's just, there, and he's supposed to be her caretaker and supposed to be taking care of her, but he's doing the opposite, and he is, being really just mean and ugly and nasty to her. And I really was just like upset with him. And yeah, ironically, his name was Dick, so it really made sense. And I don't know if the author did that on purpose. If she did, she was right on the head with that one, literally. Like, it was so him. He made me so mad the whole time in the book. I was like, ugh, I can't wait till she gets away from him. But on top of that, she had a little sister. So her little, not had, but she has a little sister in the book. And her little sister is like seeing half of this stuff happen, and she is trying to make sure that her sister is safe. So Sadie is really like that girl, because she's sitting here and she's dealing with his abuse, but also keeping her sister safe and trying to take care of her sister, because that's who she cares about. Now, she doesn't know about her parents or anything. She just knows she's here. So one day, like, her sister by this time has gone off to school and whatever, and she's there, and she ends up getting kidnapped and taken to this pool that like basically tells you like what you are when you reach a certain age. So she gets dumped into this pool. It's really like a river, lake type deal, and it has different colors that signifies like what you are, which is like beta, alpha, omega. It turns a certain color for her, which I believe it's like red or something, I don't know, but it turns whatever color it needs to turn to signify that this girl is an alpha. And mind you, she's been dealing with abuse and all of this, so she doesn't really look like alpha material. She is skinny, lanky, tiny, and just malnourished. She ends up getting knocked out somehow and ends up at this army place in the middle of nowhere. And she is considered to have to go into this place because she is an alpha, and these are where all the alphas are. Now in the beast realm right now, there's only 3 alphas. Now there's 4, including her. So it's very interesting to see the dynamic between her and the guys in this book. Again, it's called Psycho Shifters. So you have to keep that in mind when you're reading it. You have to be open-minded, y'all. Honestly, because when I tell you I was reading it and I said, hold up, like, everybody's got trauma. These boys got trauma too, or these gentlemen shifter men have trauma. The first one is Cobra. I go into him because I'm going to go in a little bit on him because he did not like Sadie at all. When I tell you he was not feeling this girl, he doesn't talk to women at all either. But he warmed up to her as the book went on. But you come to find out that his background, he was basically abused like her, but in a different way. And that deals with a lot of him not wanting to talk to women. And it makes sense. But, the way he goes about things, especially when she's like training and stuff, you would probably be like, okay, Cobra, chill out. Because I would too. Like, he's just not the nicest to her. And it pretty much is like that for almost this whole book. Okay? And then you have Jax. He is like the main alpha out of all of the alphas. He's very kind and sweet and all the like mushy gushy stuff towards Sadie. And the reason being is because he has little sisters and he's just like very affectionate towards her and things, just wanting her to feel well and welcomed. So that being said, like she warms up more to him and opens up more to him than any of the other ones. But he's still a little cuckoo because he is basically in love with Cobra, which is kind of crazy. So they're both a little bananas. Then you have Asher. He plays the role of the alpha that is very flirtatious, but in reality, he's not that playful. He just has that act of playfulness because he's hiding it alongside his expectations that he gets from his father. And he's very like, okay, I have to make sure that I'm making my father proud. And it shows like he has layers. Okay? He has some layers. Then you have her friend that she meets there. His name is Aaron, and he basically keeps her, calm through the whole process of basically training at this army base for alphas and soldiers of all kind, which most of them are betas. There's no omegas there, I don't think. No, there's not. So yeah, they're basically training, and they're training for battle. So battles come up on occasion where they have to go out and the portal opens and monsters come out. These monsters or creatures are coming from a different land. They say they don't know where they're coming from. So they basically are fighting these monsters and, winning and putting them back in the portal and whatnot. And that's basically their daily life. They train. When something like that happens, they're kind of like firefighters, basically. They're putting the fires out or putting the monsters out. So that being said, Sadie's going through all this training, found out homegirl cannot run worth a lick. Again, we know she's she's malnourished. I'm about to say malnutritioned, Lord. But she's malnourished, so like she has to get her weight up and things. But she's so itty bitty compared to these men that are like super huge in their descriptions. So everybody around her is just like big, and she's like so tiny. That being said, she also has like certain things about her that she did not realize until she started, like, you know, actually training and things like that. And one thing, she calls it the numb. And I believe she calls it this because she literally is like, it's an out of body experience for her, or in her body, but she's just not in control of it. So like, she says she has this voice that she hears, and she can just turn it off, like, you know, turn off that switch of like caring about things and how she feels, and like if she gets hurt or punched in the face or something, she's just numb. And she believes that this comes from, like, you know, just, you know, all those years of her being abused and things like that. So she has this and she never tells anybody about it. But she goes out one day and they are fighting a monster. She's using it, and then she ends up turning into her actual, you know, beast that she is. So everybody has a beast. I don't want to spoil it for you. I want you guys to actually like read the book. But she turns into the beast that she's supposed to be. And yeah, she's like, oh yeah, I can fight with the rest of y'all now. So she went off when she first turned and shifted into the beast that she was supposed to be. And everybody's like, wow, she really is an alpha now, because they didn't really believe that she was, because she was so tiny, and they were like, homegirl can't even run. So they found out that she really is the beast shifter, and she can like throw down like the rest of them, but still it takes a lot out of her. Of course, she has not been there that long, so to do this, kudos to Sadie. She's been killing the game in different ways in this book. Next, you find then it's like a little bit after she gets her shifter beast and things like that, she ends up getting kidnapped again, y'all. And I don't understand it. Your girl is always, something's always happening to your girl. She got kidnapped again. This is the second time that it's happened, and she's getting dragged through the snow, okay, by one of the friends that's in the camp with her. Now, she does end up getting saved by Jax, but it was just the fact that it happened and the way it happened. Like, she was fighting, and I believe that they just dragged her, and they're like, hey, you're not going back to camp with everybody, you're going, and I'm trying to save you. And the guy kept on saying that he was trying to save her, and you know, again, me being like trying to figure out the book and stuff, trying to be a detective, I'm like, what's happening, you know? I ate it up, y'all. I ate it up. I was sitting here and I was like reading it like it was my dinner. I promise you. I was like, okay, what's going to happen next? Now, your boy ended up getting his tail tore up by Jax. Jax did not like that. He went in. He done hurt this man so bad. I'm trying to get her back. So she ends up being safe for a while, and you know, the book goes on. She lets Jax into a little bit more about what was happening to her in the past, and he finds out about the abuse and things like that, and he finds out about the scars that she has and her physical being and stuff. So again, a lot of mental and psychological things going on in this book that was tough for the main character, but your girl, she is striving in the best way she can be, and you know, she still has her humor about her. And then the book goes on, you know, they're celebrating at the end of the book, and your girl, she picks up, you know, some friends on the way. She's just living life, and it's going good. She ends up going to this party. Of course, her and Cobra, they're upset with one another as always. They just don't like each other at this point in the book. Well, she really don't have a problem with him, but he always got a problem with her, especially now that she is into Jax more. So, yeah. it becomes a thing. You guys have to read it to understand it more, but it becomes a thing. So yeah, some things happen between them, and then all of a sudden, at the end of the book, guess what happens? Your girl ends up getting kidnapped again, and that is the third time. And I'm like, for a girl that is so strong, your girl has no sense of safety anywhere. She is always getting yanked up, knocked out, or something. And yeah, she ends up getting kidnapped again. And that's kind of where the book leaves off. And the thing is, it's a big betrayal that happens at the end of the book. And it's by the person that you would least expect it to be. And I think that's why I came back for the second book. Because I said, this has been keeping me entertained. You have action in this book. You have a good storyline. You have a little bit of spice in it. You have some very interesting ways that they have these types of traumas and types of trigger warnings that you might not regularly, well, you might see it in some books, but like on a regular basis, if you're reading like a fantasy book, this isn't like something that you're going to read about. But it makes sense why it's called Psycho Shifters. All of them have something that's up with them, and in some part of the book, some of these characters end up having psychotic breakdowns. So in different ways, you see it, but I'm not going to go into like full details and stuff, because again, I want you to read it. And if you don't read it, it's fine, because it means that that book is not for you. And we just know that that's the power of reading. You get to choose the book you want to read. I'm just here to recommend it. Okay? So I do recommend this if you are somebody who is not like just, eerie about those types of things. It's a really good book. A lot of triggering moments in it, but it's a good book. So you guys should check it out. So my final review on it, I believe I would give it like 11 out of 10, because it's one of those ones, it keeps you engaged the whole time. And when I tell you I sat down and I read it in one sitting, well, 2 sittings, because I had to take a break, but I picked it up and finished it in like a day. It wasn't like I sat here a couple of hours, then I went back the next day. No, I finished this book in a day. So it's good if you can sit there and you can read it like that. So yeah. If you would like to read this book, you can. It's called Psycho Shifters by Jasmine Mas. I know that you probably can get it on your Kindle. You probably can get it on Amazon. You can also go to your local not grocery store, but like retail store, because they have it at Target and they have it at Walmart. Yeah, I'm not sponsored by any of these people. I'm gonna just let you know, I'm just giving you my honest opinion and my book review on it. So again, happy reading to everybody, and thank you for listening to my podcast. If you have any recommendations that you would like for me to review or read and anything like that, please let me know. You can catch me on TikTok sometimes and Twitter sometimes. And so yeah, you guys, I'll see you around. Until the next one. Bye.